Hi everybody, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Momentum with Vedantu. Welcome to Momentum with Vedantu. Thank you so much for being here today morning में जल्दी जल्दी वीडियो देखने आ गए सब. Hi Sunil, hi Jalpa, hi everybody, hi. So let's start today's video. Guys. Now that JEE Mains is over, let's take a look at what exactly happened there. Hi Aryan Mishra, hi Tirupati Reddy ji. Hi, Bhanu Prakash. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so hi Shiva. Let's talk about how the exams were. Okay, how the papers were, what you should do going forward if you're preparing next year or next to next year, how you should go about it, what was important, what was not important. Okay, so first, let's talk about for 2 minutes. Let's talk about Vedantu's Pro subscription, guys. If you are a JEE class 11th or class 12th, NEET class 11th or class 12th student, then Vedantu's platform is just for you. You should go and get the Pro subscription. What you get if you take the Pro subscription, you get full access to all the live courses, guys. You get full access to all the live courses. You get to watch unlimited live classes. Okay, and if you have missed any topic, if you have missed classes for any topic and you want to watch the recording of that video, of course that is available. But if you want to watch more live lectures on that particular topic, we have micro courses that you can subscribe to for free. If you have Pro subscription, you get to teach in English or Hindi. You get to study in English or Hindi, whatever your language you're comfortable with. You get instant in-class doubt solving, guys. We have class teachers who are there just to solve your doubts. So master teacher is going to teach you guys. But a class teacher is going to solve your doubts. While the master teacher is teaching, you can ask unlimited doubts, however many you want, guys. Okay, and we have the best teachers in India. All of them have 5+ years of experience, and you can study from the safety of your home. Josh is saying he's a big fan of Spider-Man. Very good, Josh. Very good. I'm also a very big fan of Spider-Man, but not the he ranked me. He's in the top five, not at the top. Okay, all right. And also, if you take the Vedantu Pro subscription, you get to study from the safety of your home, which is very important in this Corona times. Okay, you need to be safe at your home while you are studying and not go outside. Okay, all right. So how much does it cost? If you take a 1 month subscription, it costs 6,999, guys. If you take 12 month subscription, it costs 31,800. But if you use my coupon code AAPPRO, okay, then you get additional 15% discount. So how do you avail this discount? I think you should go to vdnt.in/ytpro and then use my coupon code to get that discount. Okay, now that that is out of the way, guys, let's talk about our official Telegram group. Our Telegram group is there, Momentum with Vedantu. On this group, I am going to share all the notes of the classes that I will teach, and we will share more stuff with you guys. Okay, Hariharan Gupta is asking me, telling me belated happy teachers day. Thank you so much, Hariharan Gupta. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, Shravani Reddy is here. Hi Shravani, hi Tapan Patra, hi everybody. Okay, and finally, guys, if you haven't liked, share or subscribed to our video, I would like you to do that. Please like, share and subscribe to our video. Okay, and share this with your friends. So JEE exams are over, and it's time to talk about what really happened, how you should go about it if you're preparing for next year, and especially if you're going to give your NEET exam in a few days, what you might expect, okay, what you can expect from that paper as well. Okay, so let's look at the complete analysis. Let's look at the complete analysis of JEE 2020 paper. Okay, complete analysis of JEE 2020 paper. Now, guys, there are a few things here that you need to keep in mind. Okay, first of all, if you look at the physics syllabus, and we are mostly going to talk about physics syllabus, okay, there are basically 4 books. In class 11th you have 2 books, in class 12th you have 2 books. Okay, the first book of class 11 is completely mechanics. Okay, the first book of class 11th is just mechanics and nothing else. The first book of class 12th is completely electrodynamics. Okay, now, if you look at the second book has other different chapters. It has heat, it has SHM and waves. Okay, it has solid and fluid mechanics. This book has optics, this has modern physics and all that. Okay, now why am I talking about this? Because guys, everybody has to remember that like every year, this year as well, JEE has put a lot of focus. JEE has put a lot of focus on these two books, which is mechanics and electrodynamics. Okay, mechanics and electrodynamics. If you look at all the papers from 1st September to 6th September and analyze them, okay, what you realize is that mechanics and electrodynamics play a big role as far as number of questions are concerned. Okay, if you're expecting that they should have 25% of weightage, if you think that they will have 25% of weightage, then you are not. Okay, the expected weightage, because there are four books, you divide it by four, the expected weightage for both these books is supposed to be at 25%, but you will see that more often than not the weightage for these topics just increases. Okay, so let's look at the 2nd September shift 1 paper. If you look at this paper, guys, you will see that first of all we don't have data for the all 25 questions, so we only have data for the 21 questions out of 25 questions. But I hope everybody knows that in JEE we have 25 questions in total, which 20 questions is single answer correct. Okay, and 5 questions are integer type. Okay, so out of those 25 questions we have data of 21 questions, and you can see that these two make up 15 questions right off the bat. Okay, these two make up 15 questions right off the bat. If you look at percentage wise, then mechanics forms a whopping 42.9% of all the questions. Okay, that's 43%. That's a lot of questions from 25% of the subject matter. Okay, similarly electrodynamics, if you see, it's coming in at 28%. Once again, more than the 25% share that it should have had. Heat and thermodynamics at measly 5%, optics and modern physics for 5 and 10%, and SHM waves once again 10%. Okay, hi, Sparsha Sharma. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, Anish Pandey is asking for PDF. Anish, yes, probably I will share the PDF on the Telegram group. Okay. Next, someone is asking. Anish Pandey is also asking, sir, NCRT physics is important for JEE. Anish, I will get to that point. Okay, that is also very very important. We'll get to that. Okay. Once again, guys, if you look at other papers as well, look at September 2 shift 2 paper. Okay, once again, mechanics in this overall 8 plus 6, 14 questions directly from these two. That's more than 50%. These two together make up for more than 50%. Okay, those are very important topics, very, very important topics. And the thing about these two topics is that if you like them, you will fall in love with them. You will fall in love with them. Everything in these topics is interconnected. Okay, the first chapter, electrostatics, is interconnected to the last chapter, capacitance in the electricity part of it. Okay, similarly magnetism also, each and every chapter is interconnected. So you are either going to be good in all of them, or you are either going to be good in none of them. Okay, and it's better to be good in all of them because they form a big part of the entire syllabus. They form a big part of the entire syllabus. Okay, and I think everybody should focus their main attention on that. Okay, if you look at September 2 shift 2, once again mechanics 20, more than 25, electrodynamics is 35%. What you can see, guys, is overall paper to paper there, the percentage number of questions might go up and down, but they always remain greater than 25%. Okay, they always remain greater than 25%, which is a big thing, which is a big thing. Okay, and these topics are my favorite topics, my personal favorite topics. I love mechanics much more than I love modern physics. Okay, and I think that is true for everybody else as well. But the thing is that other topics, why modern physics is important or why heat and thermodynamics is important, we will get to that in a minute. Okay, now same story is there every other day as well. Electrodynamics 9 and 9 question. If you see the percentage, baapre, mechanics is 36% and electrodynamics is 36%. That's just too much. Oh my god, बाकी किसी topic को chance ही नहीं मिल रहा है यहाँ पे. Oh ho. Oh ho. Okay, now the next big point here, guys, is this. What is the next big point here? And that is, if you look at this, we have to talk about this, the number of easy, moderate, and difficult questions. Okay, now if you see here, guys, in general, on an average, 40% of your questions in the paper are always going to be easy. Okay, in general, in mechanics, 40% of all the questions in your paper are going to be easy. What that means is that you can easily score 40 out of 100 in physics. That is super easy for everybody to score. Okay, but for that for that you have to read the paper. Okay, this is the main important thing. You have to read the question paper. You have to read the question paper before solving. Okay, before starting to solve. If you do this, you will know which topics to go to first, and which questions to go to first and which questions to go to last. If you do that, 40 marks out of 100, guys, it's super easy. You get 40, 40, 40, it's immediately 120 marks, and congratulations, you are in an NIT with a very decent branch. Okay, so you should definitely pay attention to not trying to solve each and every question, but trying to find out the questions that you would be able to solve. Similarly, if you look at the number of difficult questions, once again, very few compared to the number of moderate questions. The moderate questions once again form approximately 40% of all the questions. Okay, and 20% remaining is the difficult questions. So you need to figure out which are the easy and moderate questions. Sonia Sharma is asking, sir, will it be same in NEET 2020? Sonia, the difference between JEE and NEET in general is, and I will get to that, but the main difference is that JEE likes to ask more numericals, and NEET likes to ask more theoretical questions. Okay, but how do you prepare for those theoretical questions? And we'll get to it. 2 minutes. Okay, so these are the two main points that we understand after analyzing all the papers, guys. See, I have paper after paper after paper. You have to understand that for all the papers, there are at least 40% easy questions. 40% of the questions in each paper are easy. It's so easy to solve. It's so easy to score at least 40 marks. Okay, 40 marks in physics is not a dream. Okay, you add 3 4 more questions from moderate, and you're immediately there at 60 marks in physics. Okay, but for that you need to read the paper. You need to read the paper. Okay, now once again, September 4 also, if you see electromagnetics and mechanics just dominating everywhere, optics, modern physics, everything is, well, there are always going to be questions from those topics, but mechanics and electromagnetism are just going to dominate. Okay, just going to dominate. Okay, Smart Book is asking, sir, what about the thermal physics 2022 session? Smart Book, I will talk about it in some time. Okay, we are going to focus a little bit on analysis of 2020 papers and everything. Then I will go to this. Okay. The bad one, no, no, yes, bad one. There is no thermal physics class today. There is no thermal physics class today. All right. Then, guys, once again, if you see electrodynamics, 28%, mechanics, 32%. Now, why do you study then other topics like modern physics and heat and thermodynamics? Okay, so the reason why we have to study these two topics is because there are going to be questions from these topics, definitely going to be questions from these topics, and these are going to be questions which are mostly going to be either theoretical, okay, or direct formula based questions. Theoretical or direct, DIRECT, direct formula based questions. Okay, and that makes them very easy to solve. So when you're talking about modern physics or heat and thermodynamics, I would suggest that what you focus on mainly is, at least for these topics, what you focus mainly on is NCERT. Okay, if you don't understand these topics from your JEE books, that's okay, but everything that is given in the NCERT you should read. Okay, you should know, and NCERT questions are very very important for at least these topics. Okay, for mechanics they can ask everything. For electrodynamics also they ask a lot of stuff requiring integration and differentiation. I'm talking about JEE here. Okay, but for these topics, modern physics and heat and thermodynamics, you have to focus on NCERT. Atharva Sharma, of course, I did not forget you, my friend. I can never forget you. Okay, once again, easy questions, 43% of easy questions. Okay, 40% of moderate questions, and 20% of difficult questions. This is going to be the standard, guys. You have to remember that there are so many easy questions in the paper. You have to just find them. Okay, you have to not panic and read the paper properly in the first 15 to 20 minutes and just find out the easy questions. Okay, give it time, spend time in just reading the paper. It will be super helpful. You will know which questions you want to attempt, which questions you do not want to attempt. Okay, tick mark, right? Read the paper and tick mark all the questions you want to attempt. In the electronic exam, you remember the number. Okay. All right, once again, electromagnetism, very high weightage, very high weightage. Coming to the conclusions, guys. If you look at all of them, by the way, the data says the same. The mechanics is high percentage, electrodynamics is high percentage. Okay, mechanics is high percentage, electrodynamics is high percentage. Easy questions are mostly somewhere around 40%. Moderate questions sometimes are higher, but difficult questions never more than 20%. Never more than 20%. Okay, so data says the same. You need to the two three important things that you understand is you need to focus on electrodynamics and mechanics, and and you need to focus on reading the question paper and figuring out what those easy questions are. Okay, Anish Pandey is asking for chapter wise weightage. Anish Pandey, we will get to it once we have all the questions in our hand. If you can see here, Anish Pandey, the thing is right now we don't have all the 25 questions in our hand. These are based on the memories of student. We have gathered this data. Okay, so once we have all the questions in our with us, we will start. Okay. All right, now let's to come to some conclusions, guys. Let's come to some conclusions. Okay, Balaji says is asking, sir, in electrodynamics and mechanics, which lessons are more important? Then Balaji, you have to understand that the lessons which are more important are also the lessons that are the hardest. Okay, in mechanics, if you see in mechanics, the most important lessons are always going to be center of mass, rotational motion, and in electrodynamics, the most important lessons are always going to be current, electricity, capacitors, and magnetism, EMI and AC. Okay, these chapters are more important because they contain questions which cover each and every concept. Okay, so when you're studying mechanics, you can't think of in terms of which chapter is more important and which chapter is less important. We call it that entire section mechanics because everything is related to each other. You cannot study rotational mechanics before studying Newton's laws of motion. You cannot study capacitance before studying electrostatics. Okay, so you need to go through all the topics. All of them are interconnected, but if you are able to understand and practice all of them, you get rewarded by getting higher marks. Okay, if you just study, see, I will tell you a secret. When I myself was preparing for JEE, okay, for my advanced paper, I didn't even sorry, for my JEE mains and advanced, I did not even study the chapter semiconductors. Okay, and I would not advise you guys to do that, by the way, because it's an important chapter. It's a very interesting chapter and everything. It's a theoretical chapter. It's very easy to score marks from it, but I did not study it because first of all, it was not there in the advanced क्या बोलते हैं, curriculum, and I knew that even if I study that topic, I was not going to score marks in that topic because I didn't like that topic at that point of time. Now I love it, but at that point of time I did not like it. So if there are topics when you are studying, you have to make sure that if you focus more energy on topics that you love, and you should choose at least 50 to 60% of the syllabus and just do that part in deep study for that. Okay, and if you have to choose, I would suggest mechanics and electrodynamics. Okay, hi, Shaileshri. Bhanu Prakash is asking, sir, can I do Irodo for advanced level questions? Yes, Bhanu Prakash, you can do Irodo. I would suggest HC Verma has very good questions, concept clearing questions. If you are able to solve that, you will get a good level of practice. Okay, all right. So, coming to the conclusions, guys. Coming to the conclusions. There are 4 or 5 different things that we observed in the JEE Mains paper this year. Okay. The first thing that we observed is most of the numericals were based from topics in class 11th, and most of the theoretical questions were based on topics from class 12th, which is understandable because we have in class 12th modern physics, from which they love asking theoretical questions, okay. But in general, if you're solving 11th topics, if you're practicing 11th concepts, please focus more on solving numericals. For 12th topics, you focus a lot on theoretical questions, okay. Next thing that we learned this year is that for most papers chemistry was always easy. In fact, the easiest part of chemistry was always, more often than not, inorganic. Okay, and I know that if you're a student that loves physics, okay, there is a high probability that you do not like inorganic chemistry, and that should not be, guys. Okay, it doesn't matter which subject you like, which subject you don't like. You have, if you want to get into that good college, you have to study all of it, okay, including the ones that you do not like. Okay, Yash Maru is saying, sir, HC Verma is next to impossible. Okay, yes, Maru, I would suggest you one thing. If you talk about just HC Verma, there are solutions available on YouTube for the entire book. You can just go through those solutions, video solutions on YouTube. Okay, go through them and just try to understand them. It's not necessary. You guys, you have to understand that it's not necessary to be able to solve HC Verma level questions in your first try, because those are hard questions. Of course, you are not able to be going to be able to solve them on your first try. Your target should not be to solve them on your own. Your target should be to just understand them. Try to solve them on your own. If you are able to, very, very good. If you're not able to, then just look at the solution and try to understand the solution. Okay, the target is to study, guys. It's not to prove your talent on the first try. Okay. All right. Balaji is asking, sir, if we completely solve HCV, how many marks can we expect? Balaji, very high marks. Okay, I would suggest somewhere around 65 to 70 मान के चलो. But you have to be very, very good. You have to be very, very well versed with your HCV. Okay. All right. The next is and this I when I started teaching, guys, I hated these books. Okay, but as I have become more experienced teacher, I have realized that these books are very, very important and you need to study them, and I'll tell you which what those books are, and those are NCRT books. Okay, those are NCRT books. You have to everybody have has to understand that, especially for topics like heat and thermodynamics, and topics like modern physics. NCRT is super duper important. In chemistry, it's much more important than physics, because in chemistry they actually give direct questions from NCRT. But if you see my video that I posted yesterday of questions from JEE, the video where I'm solving questions from JEE, you can see there are 2 or 3 questions out of those 10 questions that I've solved that directly from NCRT. Okay, so NCRT questions, guys, is very, very important. Before you go to HC Verma or before you go to anything else, I expect everybody to solve this. Okay, it's going to help you a lot, especially if you are a NEET student, okay. NEET students, need to solve them much. NEET students has to give it much more importance than JEE students, because for NEET students, they get a lot of theoretical questions which are there in abundance in NCRT. So go through your NCRT questions, guys. It's very, very important. All your concepts will be clear. Okay, they're very conceptual. And finally, this we talked about, but I will just reiterate it. You have to focus on mechanics and electrodynamics, guys. You have to focus on mechanics and electrodynamics, because they have the maximum weightage. Okay, they have the maximum weightage. Okay, Arup Ghoshal is asking, sir, what should be the plan for 80 plus in JEE physics? Okay, Arup Ghoshal, I will tell you your daily plan to get 80 plus in JEE physics. Okay, if you are studying any chapter, okay, if you're studying any chapter for JEE purposes, okay, so you have to spend 20% of your time reading theory, okay, and 80% of the time practicing questions. Okay, practicing questions For each chapter, I would suggest you solve close to 150 plus questions. Now that's a very big target. First of all, that's a very big target, but also at the same time, if you want 80 plus marks, this is a very achievable and absolutely necessary target. Okay, so for each chapter, I would suggest to solve more than 150 plus questions and solve them from a single book. Okay, don't try to hop from one book to another book, one book to another book. Okay, if you're solving HC Verma, just solve HC Verma. All the questions from HC Verma are more than sufficient. If you're solving DC Pandey, just solve DC Pandey and nothing else. Okay, that should be the plan. The key here, guys, is practicing. Okay, and here is what you will realize: when you start practicing, in the beginning you will be horrible. In the beginning, okay, you will be horrible. Okay, so that is where everybody starts, guys. Where when I started studying physics, I was very horrible at it. Okay, in the beginning you can never solve your questions on your own, because it's too hard. There are so many new things that you'd never know. But that's why you need to keep practicing. That's why need to keep practicing. When you are done with solving 150 questions, then your confidence level will be much higher than when you are just starting. Okay, so in the beginning, even if you're not able to solve, please keep at it. Solve more questions. Sir, JEE September 5 shift 1 paper was really tough. Yes, GeoZebra is saying that JEE September 5 shift 1 paper was really tough. I agree with you, because that's not just your view. If you read online, so many students have the same view. Okay, and that is going to happen from time to time. One thing you can keep in mind is that your chemistry paper is always going to be the most scoring one, so you cannot ignore it. Okay, if you are in love with physics, still do not ignore chemistry, and also if you are in love with chemistry, do not ignore physics. Okay, you have to study all the three subjects to have good scores. Okay, Sumita Patabi is asking, sir, when is the ray optics class again? Sumita, not today, tomorrow most probably. I will get back to you. Okay, we will post it on the Telegram group. Please be on the Telegram group for these updates. Okay. GeoZebra is asking, sir, my maths is good. Very good. Then in that case, if your GeoZebra is saying if my maths is good, then Geo, I think your physics will also be good in that case. Okay. But you have to be. Balaji S is asking, sir, what book did you prepare from? And this is where I will tell you my secret, Balaji. Balaji is asking, which book did I prepare from? Okay. Now, first of all, you need to understand that I prepared a long time ago. Okay, I prepared approximately 11 years ago. Okay, so my thing is not very applicable here, but I will tell you what I did. Okay, what I focused on was the study material given by my coaching people. Okay, they gave us questions, they gave us study material to do practice, to read theory, whatever. I just solved that. For my preparation, I never opened up at Siva. Okay, I realized how he was so famous and how just everybody was such a big fan of him after I went to IIT. When I was in coaching, I just studied my study material, and that is it. And this is very important for each and every one of you out there. Okay, do not study from multiple books, guys. Do not study from multiple books. Okay, if you think that you are at a score level of, if you are scoring somewhere around 50 marks or less than 50 marks in physics, okay, you need to understand that multiple books is not for you. Okay, you need to study from single book. Okay, and improve your score first. Okay, you start going to more than one book when you are scoring 90 plus marks out of 100. Okay, only at that point you start doing that, not right now, not right now. Okay, hi Mr. Best, I'm doing very well. GeoZebra is saying he's a QPS scholar. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, GeoZebra is asking, sir, please give tips for J Advanced, especially multiple correct questions. GeoZebra, I will get, we are going to make a different video for that. Okay, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Balaji is asking, was HCV your teacher in IT Kanpur? Yes, he taught it. He taught us one subject and only half a semester of that subject. Okay, and I have attended most of his classes, and also Hmm. Very good classes. Very good classes. Yeah. Hmm. All right. Now, one last thing that I want to just reiterate, everybody's here. So, as long as I have your attention, I want to say this again, and that is read the question paper before starting to solve. Okay, it's super important that you do that. Read the question paper and pick out the easiest questions. Pick out the easiest questions. Do not worry how much you know, how much you don't know. Just don't panic about that thing. Even if you see three hard questions in a row, just pick out the easiest questions and solve that first. It's super important because remember guys, there is always going to be 40% of paper which is easy. 40% of paper which is easy. You can easily score 40 marks. Okay, score 40, 40, 40. That's 120, and congratulations, you now have admission in one of the prestigious universities. Okay, so that is it guys, that is it. If you haven't joined our telegram group, I would like you to join our telegram group. All of our information regarding what videos are coming up next and what am I going to do in the next few classes are going to be the information will be updated here. And also at the same time I will be sharing notes and notes and other important resources like homework and everything on this group. Okay, so if you haven't joined it, please join it now guys, and I will see you to again in the next class at 4 o'clock. Okay, have a nice day guys. Bye bye.